It was time for the memorial service for Sam McCall, an emotional day that viewers of ABC's General Hospital have been, on one hand, looking forward as it would bring closure for the character and hopefully bring a proper goodbye, while others are still devastated over the decision to let longtime GH vet Kelly Monaco go after 21 years on the series. On Tuesday's November 19th episode, Sam's family and friends are now at the church, and the memorial gets started right at the top of the show. There were numerous remembrances and retrospective clips as many of Sam's longest relationships in town spoke on her virtues, her love of danger, her leather jacket, her giving nature, her understated ways, and why she was a wonderful daughter, sister, partner, and more. Molly, Kristen Vaganos, was the first to speak, and she made the point that with Sam, they, along with sister, Christina, were known as the Davis girls and were always a family. She went on to say that Sam was the quiet and calming sister who one could go to for advice. In a hanky moment, Molly said that now there will be only 3 sets of arms in the Davis girls' hugs in the future. However, Sam will always be there with them. Next, Christina, Kate Mancy, said a few words on how Sam was always her safety net and would not judge her, and that she believed in second chances. As she spoke, we see Alexis, Nancy Lee Grahn, and Molly holding on to each other and in tears. Perhaps one of the most emotional speeches came from Spinelli, Bradford Anderson, and for longtime viewers, it was Sam that brought Jason, Steve Burton, and Spinelli together. Spinelli spoke of how as a techie nerd, she was one of the first people to befriend him. He flashes back to when Sam was going to try to help him work out more to build more muscle to help win the love of Maxie. He weeps that his fair Samantha gave him the confidence to fall for the woman of his dreams. We come to Maxie crying in the church. Carly, Laura Wright, and Liz, Rebecca Herbst, speak on their contentious relationships with Sam over the years, but how they learned to respect her. Lucky, Jonathan Jackson, speaks and, in a heart-tugging moment, says that Sam saved his sister Lulu's life when he and his brother, Nicholas, couldn't. He hates that Sam lost her life in the process. He doesn't know why she was taken from them, but their family will forever be in her debt. In another hanky-inducing moment, it's time for Dante, Dominic Zamporna, to speak. He recounts the dark patch he hit in his life with his terrible bout of PTSD and how Sam stepped up to be there for him, and how their friendship turned to love. Dante promises he's going to do what she would want him to do, and that is to keep going. Dante looks at Sam's portrait and says through his tears that he'll always love her. He looks over at Sam's children and tells them he loves them all too, and that will never change. If you wanted more heartbreak, it was when Rocco, Finn Kerr, and Danny, Asher Antonisen, both spoke. Rocco goes first and tells the attendees just how wonderful Sam was to him as a stepmom. He goes on to say he is so thankful to her for giving him a brother, Danny, and his sister, Scout. In fact, Sam and Rocco shared secret handshake, and he wants to teach it to Danny and Scout now. As Rocco says this from the pulpit, Danny cries. Later, it is Jason and Danny together who address those gathered for Sam's service. Jason goes first and says he is so grateful for the love and the time that he and Sam spent together. Danny speaks about the different things his mom loved. First, she loved to go fast. Next, she loved a good black leather jacket, and they are going to give hers to Scout when she's older. Then, she loved Noodle Buddha's Chinese food. However, Danny closed his speech in his most heart-tugging moment of all. Danny shares how much Sam loved him, Scout, and Rocco. As the service came to its conclusion, it was Sam's grieving mother, Alexis, who attempts to read her prepared speech about her exceptional daughter. However, she ends up tossing it and speaking from the heart. She says that Sam choosing her to be her mother and letting her in years after they found each other was so profound to her. She says that Sam was not just her daughter, but her friend, and she didn't know if she could have raised Molly and Christina without Sam, as she was her anchor. Alexis shares the only way to properly honor her daughter is to be brave just like she was. So with that, Alexis reveals through her tears she won't grieve long or get lost in sorrow, but will cheer Sam on to her next great adventure. As she concludes, she looks up and says, "Thank you for choosing me, my angel." Sadly, in a very powerful and poignant moment, after everyone has left the memorial, Alexis is left sitting there alone. Christina and Molly find her.